So in the last decade, I've actually stayed in touch with a lot of scientists over the years. I got to meet some of the most amazingly smart people, either whether it's James Watson, who discovered the DNA helix, or Michael Davidson, who most famous, unfamous person you've ever heard of, but world's expert in preventative cardiology. And it was interesting is in 2008, I went into my doctor and I had my physical. And my cholesterol had always been pretty flat, and in my family, there's a lot of men in my family who have zipper scars on their chest, so I've always had that specter in the back of my mind, is this the year I start kind of spiraling downward into the pit? And so I had a bad cholesterol score, and I'd had a test 6 months before, and so I was so what happened here? I mean, what happened to my biology that it tipped? Because my diet's the same, I work out like a freak, and I'm after it, and he said, I don't know, it's kind of you're 45 and you're kind of flipping on your bad genes and your good ones are flipping off, and it's, who knows how that works, that's just part of getting old. But I'm gonna slam you with some statins, and that's gonna correct that cholesterol problem right away. Well, I wasn't really enthused about that because I'm actually not your average healthcare consumer, and I happen to know that particular drug actually degrades your muscle fibers and makes you less functional as an athlete, and actually there's some evidence that it reduces your mitochondria. So I went, wow, okay, I'll have a nice ticker, but my physical conditioning is going to suck. That's not a great thing. I'll be less healthy. So I said, well, are there predictive biomarkers that my plan doesn't pay for, or different interpretations of the ones that it does pay for that will tell me how to optimize my health versus just tell me if I'm going to die tomorrow or if I'm still alive to go along with my business? And he said, well, I don't know. So I went out and called a number of my friends, people who knew all this stuff, rounded up a pretty extensive list of biomarkers you should be measuring that you can signal to them with various activities. So cell signaling, what is that? You can signal with nutrition, you can signal with lifestyle, you can signal with activities, a whole bunch of things. You could signal by living next to a power plant. Everything that you come in contact signals to your cells. I went, well, okay, why can't I signal through nutrition? Are there supplements that I can do? Is there different foods that my body plays nicely with? Are there things I should avoid? He said, you know what, I have no idea. In med school, you get an hour of nutrition and you get an hour of genetics, and we're just kind of Western medicines about if a house is on fire, you run over and put it out, but you don't do anything preventative. So I rounded up these markers, assembled a team to interpret it, and I found out 1/3 of my markers were red. Went through with a program with a nutritionist and a doctor. In 4 months, retest it, because you turn your biology over every 120 days. You have a new set of blood cells. And basically, I had knocked down my cholesterol and knocked down a bunch of my markers, and I was pretty psyched. I went, wow, I really know how to move my biology. So, long preamble. This presentation is going to break into a couple areas. The first one, mine, is it's going to be less shameless pandering about my company and trying to get you to buy something, and it's going to be more like why this is a golden age of human instrumentation, as they're calling it, or figuring out your personal system biology. Second part, Justin's a super kick-ass doctor. He has undergrad in kinesiology. He's always been into human movement. Worked his way through medical school, actually being a trainer. And he's really just completely focused on things like sports medicine, but also master primal regulatory genes. What's that? We're going to just saturate you with science, but it's actually going to be super approachable. And after that, then we're going to have a contest. And what are we doing?
Giving a couple of packages away for free.
Yeah, so Zach's going to pass this around, and we will give away 2 packages for free to some lucky person in the audience. So pretty action-packed hour. Let's get it done, right?